Hey, good evening. Happy Friday to everybody. It's going to be the 4th of July weekend. It's going to be a fabulous weekend coming up. Tonight, I want to pick a topic. These are questions that I get from my students, so I just want to do um, some Q&A on what it feels like to feel spirit. I find with the clients that I work with and the students, a lot of them feel spirit, but they are clueless that it's actually spirit that they're feeling. And it's always an eye opener when I start to describe the sensations that I get when I work with spirit. Because most of the people have had these sensations, they just don't recognize that it's actually spirit touching them. So tonight, I just want to talk briefly about how I feel spirit, how I interact with spirit. For the longest time, I didn't feel spirit. I'm a clairvoyant medium, so I would see spirit. I wouldn't feel them. Why would I need to feel them when I saw them? So I would say just within the past few years, I started feeling spirit, and I've been finding it very intriguing. I actually like to play with it a little bit. Making the sensation stronger, or okay, stop if this is spirit, or if this is spirit, make it stronger. So I play with it a little bit. And I have a lot of fun. So when I'm working with my students and my clients in session, I talk about feeling spirit, especially like if I'm doing a mediumship read and I have someone there who wants so much to connect with their loved one, and their loved one might be standing next to them. So I have that person just take a moment, close their eyes, and I ask them, do you feel anything on your body? Do you feel any sensations? And when they do, I tell them it's their loved one that's standing next to them, if they are standing right next to them in that spot. And it's so healing for people to know that they can actually feel their loved one that has crossed over. So, few things. How do I feel spirit? Okay. So, do you ever feel like you've got like a creepy crawly on your head and you go to touch and there's nothing there? Do you ever feel like, for example, I'm wearing a headband? Do you ever feel like you've got a pressure sort of like that and you don't have a headband on? Or you feel like you've got a hat on and there's no hat? Or another sensation is you might feel like you have glasses on the top of your head and you think you might have glasses and you go to touch and there's nothing there. That's spirit. I also feel like I've got a loose hair in my face and I go to wipe and there's nothing there. What other sensations do I get? Oh, I get like a sensation like I have something rolling down my face, like I have sweat or something rolling down, and I'm not sweating. Those are all sensations that spirit oppresses upon me when they're around me. I learned this when I started doing my channeled spirit healings because it's so physical for me. I'm channeling spirit. They're working through my vessel to do healings on people. What's really cool is when I do these sessions, people feel spirit touching them. So these are some other sensations that you could get. Do you ever feel like when you're laying in bed and you feel like a heavy weighted blanket is laid upon you? That's spirit. Chills. They call them spirit bumps. You get chills up your arms, your legs, or full body chills. That's spirit. Another sensation that I get is I feel like a fluttering of my skin. So, for example, for those of you that have had children and you feel that first flutter in your belly, it's sort of like that, except it's on my skin. It goes up my legs, things like that. That's spirit. Another way I get is I get air movement around my legs, around my body. And there's no fans on and there's no AC on and it's still. That is spirit. Feeling cold, a coldness, that's spirit. So there's so many different ways that you can feel spirit that you don't even recognize in your day-to-day life. They're wanting to come through. The veil is very thin. They're wanting to come through and connect with you. But we're so busy in our everyday life that we're not paying attention. So in my classes, I teach people how to slow down, how to breathe, and how to call spirit in so that they too can feel the touch of spirit. My last meditation that I did last Saturday night, people actually heard spirit walking around the room. They could hear footsteps. During my healing sessions, people get touched all the time. I had one lady, it was so cute. You know, I tell people that you might feel spirit. These are all the sensations that you might get, and I'm sure some of them are like, yeah, right, really, does it really happen? I had this little lady here, and she was from a foreign country, and I told her all the things that would happen. First session, not a problem. Second session, she comes in, and she's laying on the massage table, and I'm calling in the spirits. Spirit healers come in and they work on people, and I close my eyes when I do this because I'm in a trance. I'm channeling, and I hear her rustling around, and I open my eyes, and she's sitting up. She's looking at her hand, her right hand. She's looking at me, and then she's looking to the right of her, and then she looks at her hand, and she looks at me. So she sort of put together that I wasn't on her right side. I was not touching her hand. I was actually like 2 feet away from her feet. And it really freaked her out because Spirit was holding her hands. So it was so cute because the next time she came in for a session, she put her hands underneath her butt so Spirit couldn't touch them. So I have experiences like that all the time that happen during my events, during my healings, during my readings, and I love to share it with people so that they can share in that experience also. It's not scary. It's actually reassuring. I even have a little game sometimes that I play with Spirit. I'm going, okay, if this is one of my mediumship guides, make it stronger. So now I can discern which guides are actually touching me by their, I call it a calling card, by the way that they come in. So for example, when I start channeling, when I'm doing healings, I can walk in a room and all of a sudden this side of my face starts like twitching, and I know that somebody in the room needs healing because that's my healing guide coming in and saying, hey, I'm here, somebody needs healing. My mediumship guides, I have a couple of them, but one, it's like I feel like a pressure is going down my face like this. That's one of my mediumship guides. The guides that I work with for physical mediumship, they twitch my nose. I would swear if I opened my eyes, that thing would be going like this, but it's not. I had a session with a client today, and he was telling me, and it was remote, okay, so I wasn't in the same room with him. He was telling me that his face was getting tickled. He said it felt like a feather was running over his face the entire time I was working with him. Those are his spirit healers coming in to work on him. So I just wanted to take just a few minutes of the time this Friday night just to share with you some of the examples and some of the things that I experience on a daily basis. This has been an amazing journey. I'm so blessed to be able to do what I do. And I want to start sharing more these little infomercials per se. I just want to share what I'm experiencing so that you can experience it too. So I'm going to continue to do these on a regular basis, just little tidbits of information, and Spirit guides me every day on what to do. They guided me at the last minute because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I really wanted to do this video earlier, but Spirit's like, they kept putting it off and putting it off. And then finally, they just said, okay, this is what we're going to talk about. Because I was actually going to talk about entities and how people feel attachments. And they just changed it up tonight and decided that we're going to talk about what it feels like to be touched by Spirit. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My website is www.tinaescoto.com. Also, if you want to follow me on the YouTube video, I'm going to be putting all these videos on YouTube. So subscribe to my YouTube channel and you can get this information for free. This is something that I teach in my classes. Of course, I elaborate more in my classes, but I'm just going to give you little just tidbits of information when I run across them, when Spirit tells me, hey, talk about this, because somebody out there needs this information. So I know there's somebody out there that is getting like their mind being blown about, gosh, I've been experiencing that all this time and I thought it was something physical. Oh, that's another thing. When Spirit blends very closely in your energy field, you could feel like a fluttering of your heart, a racing of your heart. Of course, it can be something physical too, but don't rule out anything physical. It also can be spirit. So these are just things that some of my clients have come into me and they said, hey, you know, I've got this thing going on with my heart. I've been checked out by the doctors. There's nothing wrong, but I still get this fluttering. And so we talk about that, and we find out that it's usually a guide or a spirit coming in that's wanting to blend with them and wanting to maybe channel. So there's lots of possibilities. Anyway, getting back to how you can contact me. Uh, my website, Facebook page is Mystic Horse Journeys. That's my professional page where I post everything. I also have a personal page. You're welcome to friend me on that. I would prefer the Mystic Horse Journeys though. And then also subscribe to me on YouTube, like me on Facebook, call me if you have any questions. I'm here to help. And my phone number is 480-220-9233. Thank you for giving me your attention tonight. Thank you for watching my video. I hope it's helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I will return the calls. I will get back to you. It may take me just a little bit of time, in between clients and everything and classes, but I will get back to you. So have a blessed evening. Have a wonderful weekend, and I look forward to our next time.